Hi guitar mates, thank you for joining me today. In this video, we are going to learn how to play a classic song, Elected by Alice Cooper. Elected was the first single from the album Billion Dollar Babies, released back in 1974. Now this song brings back so many childhood memories. Felt so rebellious to be an Alice Cooper fan when I was young. Probably because parents thought that Alice Cooper should be banned for his outrageous behaviour and that shock rock stage show. The band has gone through numerous changes over the years. Classic Alice Cooper group lineup consisted of Vincent Furnier, who, commonly known as Alice Cooper, having legally changed his name back in 1975. Lead guitarist was Glen Buxton, rhythm Michael Bruce, bassist Dennis Dunaway, and drummer Neal Smith. Current lineup is Ryan Roxie, Tommy Henriksen, and of course Nita Strauss. Now the lesson will look at all of the guitar parts for the track, and you can find the tabs and the backing track on my premium channel, and the link is down below. So let's get started with that great intro riff that you heard at the beginning of the video. It opens up with an A power chord. I'm just playing that with my flat finger there, just holding down D2, G2 and the B2 and making sure that I'm muting that low E string, and we get this. Gotta hold that for 2 bars, then we are into the riff, which goes like this. Playing there, I am playing D7 and A7, and then we move down 2 frets and we're going to play D5 to the A5. And we hold that, so we get. Then we've got this riff. When I'm playing there, I am playing the A7 down, and I use my little finger for this, to the E8. Then back to the A string on A5. Then I move all the way down to the 3rd fret on the E string, and I use my 3rd finger for that because of that next stage. So you get that. Hold that, puts a little bit of bend on there. And then we got this little chromatic run down, which is going 3, 2, 1 to the open. And then across to the A string, we're going to do a 3, 2. And then we got another little kick like we did at the beginning. Got to hold that for a bar, and then we have got 3 bars just playing the A chord. So you get that. And that is the end of the intro. So to start finishing up with them 3 bars on the A, we then go into the verse section. Now the verse is played over an A, a G and E chord. And because of that combination, we end up with a mixolydian flavour to the chord progression that we're playing. So what I'm going to do, I am just going to play it through, and then we will break it down. So the verses goes like this. Now, That main riff that we just heard through the verses gets played 4 times. But what are we doing? Well, we start off with that A chord, which we're going to hold for a bar. Then we've got a bar of A where we just play on the beats. We're on 2, 3, 4. Then we've got a kick into the G chord. So, 2, 3, 4. So we've got this onto the G, which is coming in on the 1 count. Gonna hold that, let that ring out, and then on the and at the end of the bar for and, we've got an E to an A, like that. Finishing with a riff, which is on just a line. We're playing the 2nd fret on the D, down to the 4th fret on the A. So let me just play that through, just nice and slow, so you can hear what's going on there. Then back to the A. Like I said, we are going to play that 4 times. So that is verse number 1. We do now, we go into the chorus section. Now the chorus section is quite clever here. What he does, he modulates into the key of a B major. Sounds all very technical. In the song, it just sounds great. But there's a lot going on the theory in this whole song itself. But when I get bogged down in the theory on this, just want to show you how to play this. So the chorus is quite busy on the movements. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm just going to go through the chords and I'll discuss how both guitars are playing this. But the chorus goes like this. Now, we're going to play that descending line 4 times. So we start off, we are playing an F to a C chord, moving down to a B flat chord. So you got this F, B flat. Then what we're doing on that, we are starting off with this F chord. I'm playing this on the 8th fret on the A string, and I'm holding down 10, 10, 10 on the D, G, and B string. Then I'm moving down to a C5 chord, or a C chord really, moving down to the B flat, so we get this. Then I move straight down to an E flat. I'm playing it the same way I did that F, but 2 flats lower. So holding that, bringing out that major chord sound there, down to a G sharp, which is on that 4th fret, back up to the B flat, down to a G. And then I get this little kick on the C. So we get that. And we repeat that 3 times. Now, with the 2 guitars, what they do, they fatten up the chords a little bit more. And I've noticed when they're playing, especially currently, the 2 guitarists, they alternate. I thought when I watched the videos for who's doing what, but I did notice that they just seem to change between the shows, maybe just to give themselves a little bit of interest when they're playing this. But the 2nd guitar plays the F down here, down on that 1st fret, and then they play that C to the B flat down here. Now they both join each other here for that E flat because they can't get any lower. And then for that final part. So, second guitarist is playing that. And from what I can tell, they're very focused on just hitting it as power chords, just 5 chords. That first guitarist does tend to emphasize more in the middle part of the guitar, giving it more of a treble sound. So you get that kind of really, when they're playing that, they're hitting more in the middle of the guitar. So if you're playing the one that's playing on the higher there, don't really rely on just playing them as just bar or just as power chords. We want to get more of that. Whereas the other one, full on. Just really gives it a very, very fat sound. Now, when we played that 4th time and we come down, it modulates out to an E chord. So we get. It goes down to an E for 1 bar on that last one. Instead of going to the C, it goes down to an E and uses that to pull us back to the second verse. So the first 3 times we have the kick on the C, going back, but on the final run, when we're on the G, we go down to the E for the bar. And that puts us back into that A. Now what they do there, they play 4 bars on the A. Now we are into verse number 2, which has got a slight little variation from verse number 1. First guitar plays the same way we did it in the original verse, but the second guitar adds a little riff over the G. So instead of doing that, what the second guitar does, so we've got this. When I'm playing there, I've got the, I'm holding down the 3rd fret on the low E. Just play that 2, 1, 2, and then I'm playing. So I'm doing a G triad there. I'm working through the G. I'm doing the 3rd fret to the 2nd on the A, to the 5th fret, then across to the 2nd fret on the D. Then I go to 2 on the G, back to the 2 on the D, and then back on that usual riff on the 4th fret. So we are, both guitars will end up, but we get that. Like that. Occasionally I've heard the, whether it's an overdub or not, I'm not too sure, we get, he goes to that bottom E instead of going to the D2. Now, throw that in occasionally, like I said, it could be an overdub live. I couldn't tell, it was like a bit backwards and forwards between the two of them. I find it easier just to play instead of throwing in that low E. But that is the variation there that we have on the verse 2. So we're playing that through, and then we go back into our usual chorus that. Play that through, and of course on the final one we've got that little modulation into the E. So now in chorus number 1, from that modulation on the E, we went back to the A and we played that for 4 bars. Now this time what we're doing, we're moving into the bridge section, which has got the melodic line, and also it's the part where Alice is sitting there on the megaphone preaching his election promises. What the rhythm guitarist is doing, it stays on the A for the 4 chords, but on the third bar, that's where the melodic line starts. But the rhythm guitarist stays on the A. Then it moves down to the 3rd fret on the low E string, plays the G for 2 bars. Moves down to the F sharp for 2 bars. Down to the F, 1st fret for 2 bars. Down to the E for 2 bars. Then it goes across to the A again for 2 bars. Now he goes to the C, 3rd fret on the A string for 2 bars. Down to the B for 2 bars. Then we have a bar of E, and he's just playing on the downstrokes. And that takes us out of that bridge section as far as the rhythm guitarist is concerned. What we're going to do now, though, we are going to check out that middle melody section that is being played by the lead guitar. That melody line that is being played by the guitar goes like this. Easy to play, but it does sound really effective with the descending lines played by the guitar and the bass. But what we're playing, well, we're going to start off on 10th fret on the high E string, to the 9, down to the 7, across to the B string, 10th fret. Now this one is going to be played 1 2, so we get 7 from that 10, we get a 7 9. So we get 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Hold for a full bar, and we go back to the 10, to the set, to the 9, to the 7, to the 10, and then we do a 7 8. Hold for another bar, we go back, and we're doing the 10 9 7. And then we got 7 9. Same as we did the first time. Now we've got 10 8 7 B10 to the 10 on the high E, to the 8. Then we got this little pattern which is going 12 10 8, which is going 1 2 3. So we get 12 10 8 and finishes on the 12. So easy enough to play, but it does sound great with the descending line played by that bass and the rhythm guitar. Coming out of the bridge, we then go back into a verse which is played exactly the same as verse number 2. Out of verse number 2, we are now into the outro section, which again has a melodic line. Now what I'm going to do, I'll just play through that and then we'll break it down, and I'll also discuss what the other guitar is playing through this section. But this great melodic line that they are playing goes like this. So what are we playing there? Well, we are going to start off on B string, 6th fret, we're going to play a 6, 5, 3. Move across to the G string and we're going to play 5, 3, 2. To the 5th fret on the D string, going to the 3rd fret. Now we are going to go onto the A string and we're going to play 6, 5, 3 to the 1. Down onto the 3rd fret of the low E string, we're going to play 3. Across to the A string, we're going to play 2, 3. And then across to D2. And then we're back all over again. Now, one guitar is just going to keep playing that round and round and round. For the first section, both guitars play that line together. However, after the second progression, the other guitarist, the second guitarist, goes and starts playing the chorus line. So we get that. And that is played over that descending line. So we know if we're playing in the key of B flat major, we are playing a scale that's in that B flat major. And that goes all the way to the fade. Well, there we have it. I do hope you've enjoyed the lesson. Please don't forget to hit that like button to show your support for the channel. And while you're doing that, why not hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I release another new video like this one here today. So, until I see you again, this is Jeff wishing you well, and I'll see you again real soon. Until then, goodbye.